Hey everyone, it's Susie. Welcome to my channel, Dragonflybeez. If you're new to my channel, I share and showcase my experiences sourcing inventory. I'm an online reseller, primarily in jewelry. So I do jewelry unboxings from Goodwill or Shop Goodwill, ThredUP if I'm lucky to get one, thrift hauls, and more. So, most importantly, it's really about having fun, finding treasures together, and learning together. So, if this interests you, don't stop this video. Stick around. Okay, to start off, I grabbed 12 bracelets out of my inventory. I would say a few of them have been listed on Etsy and maybe a couple on Poshmark. But I believe there's maybe a couple that haven't been listed either. So, all right, let's start off with the first one. Most of them are vintage. Here's the first one. I have a vintage, I believe it's 60s, yellow gold. In fact, it's gold plated bracelet with all these faux ruby rhinestones. Isn't it nice? Very pretty. This bracelet is 7.5 inches long, and there is a fold over clasp, and it's marked. But for the life of me, I could not find who this maker is. It says HJ in a diamond. So that's on the clasp. And here you have this vintage yellow gold bracelet with faux ruby rhinestones, fold over clasp, in very good condition. I mean, considering it is, I guess, 60 years old. So, there's the first one. Next bracelet I want to share is also a vintage bracelet from the 60s. This is a gold tone enamel, kind of like a cream enamel, ivory, with faux pearls and these amber colored rhinestones. Each link, yeah, it's hinged, and it needs a good, I guess, wiping. It has a fold over clasp. This bracelet is 7 inches long, and let me show you the back. The back does has some wear, and there is a mark, and that's where the wear is really. Can you see? This is a GOLDETTE vintage bracelet, but because of the age, the ETTE portion of the word GOLDETTE is missing because there is some missing, I guess, deterioration right there. But you do see the word gold. There is some general wear on some of the pearls. I mean, like I said, this is a very old vintage bracelet, but it's a great addition to anyone who does collect vintage bracelets. So there you have it. Very pretty. Very pretty. So that's the next one. Here's a more current style. Oh, by the way, the first bracelet that I showed you, the HJ, that came in a Goodwill blue. No, that came from a shop Goodwill lot purchased last year. This here, GOLDETTE bracelet came from a neighbor who, an elderly neighbor who just decided to give me all her jewelry. And this here, Ralph Lauren bracelet, I believe also came from a shop Goodwill lot that I purchased some time ago, because this has been listed on Poshmark for a while. This one is a multi-ring link toggle bracelet. One of the rings have a rope design and the other one is just a polished gold tone. It still has the tag with a price of $44, and here is the hang tag with the RLL initials. This bracelet is 7.5 inches long. So this is a newer tag, Ralph Lauren gold tone toggle bracelet. Okay, next up, look at this. It's silver tone, fold over clasp, vintage bracelet. It has these smoky, I don't know, brown, light brown rhinestones, and they are all there. This bracelet's 7.5 inches. There's the back, and there is a maker. Let's see where it is. Okay, let me bring this up closer. It is upside down. It's CORO. Can you see there's a little Pegasus and CORO in a box with the copyright symbol. This trademark was available in 1955. So this is a vintage CORO silver tone rhinestone fold over clasp bracelet. Let's talk about CORO for a little bit. CORO was actually, believe it or not, founded in 1901 by two individuals, one by the name of Emanuel Cohen, and the other was Carl Rosenberger. They founded Cohen and Rosenberger in 1901 in New York. They had a factory built in 1911 in Providence, Rhode Island. So they had offices and plants in New York and in Rhode Island. Later on, they had also presence in Los Angeles, San Francisco, Miami, Toronto, Chicago, England, and even Mexico. So there's English patents for, like, I guess, clasps and, you know, different, what they would call mechanical patents. And they were from 1961 to 69 under the name of CORO Craft. Cohen passed away in 1910. Do you believe that? That was like more than 100 years ago. But the name Cohen and Rosenberger remained until 1943. So after that, CORO was adopted. So I guess they took the first initials of Cohen and the first initials of Rosenberger and created CORO. Carl Rosenberger passed away in 1957, and then his son took over until 1967, because 10 years, he passed away 10 years after his father. In 1969, they sold CORO stock to RHINESTONE, this corporation that was owned by Oscar de la Renta. And unfortunately, in 1979, all the CORO companies went bankrupt except one in South America. But then in later on, in 92, I think, they went bankrupt too. So if you ever look up CORO trademarks, I mean, there are hundreds, because there's many different maker's mark. You could see CORO Craft Sterling, which was popular in the 40s. You would see CORO Duet. Van Dome is part of CORO, which was from 1944 to 1970. You may see, if you're lucky to find a trademark, C&R, which is from 1922. They had the PEGASUS only in 1939. And then in 1945, that's when they started putting the PEGASUS next to the name CORO in the box, just like this one has. But this one is a little different because it does have the copyright symbol underneath, and that came about in 1955. So yeah, CORO has been around for over a century. So this is 1955 CORO, PEGASUS CORO, Silvertone, Rhinestone, vintage bracelet. Okay, here's another vintage bracelet. This is yellow gold. And there's rectangular shaped links. So it's kind of like a mesh style bracelet. And there's ruby-like rhinestones all throughout. There's a fold-over clasp. And I could not find a maker's mark. This bracelet measures 7.5 inches long. And that's what it looks like on. So, as you can see, all the rhinestones are there. That's the back. It's just very pretty. I like the ruby red color with the gold. It looks great together. So there you have it. Okay, we're halfway there. And don't forget, if there's anything that you are interested in purchasing, just email me at dragonflybeez@gmail.com. Okay, next one is this vintage bracelet. It is green onyx. And it's open back. So you could see right through it. There's this filigree, flowery medallion design, medallion link. And this one's a little longer. It's 7 3/4 long. There is a spring ring clasp, and there's a mark on it too. Let's see. Let me get my loop and see if you can see that together. Okay, how can I hold this? Well, it says sterling. Right there. So this is a, it was tested. It's a sterling silver green onyx, open back, 7 3/4 inch long bracelet. Let's take a look at the back. You see the rope design around each of the, it's very pretty. It's bezeled. I guess it needs some cleaning. There is some patina, so if you don't like that and you like it shiny, you could clean it up. But that's what it would look like. Isn't that pretty? This here, I believe, I think this came from a Goodwill Blue Box. I'm pretty sure. Not bad. I like it. Okay. Here's another vintage fold-over clasp bracelet. This one's in gold tone, more like a brushed satin finish, and the leaves have this open design. Very detailed too. Look at that. And there's AB coated rhinestones. And I already see some missing. Wait a minute. Okay, there. All right. This one is missing too. These two. Oh, bummer. Well, this one is 7 1/4 inches long. There is no maker on this, but if someone wants to fix this beautiful vintage bracelet and can replace the missing AB rhinestones, then it's for sale. Here's the next vintage bracelet I have on the agenda. This one here looks like bows. Like each hinged panel is a bow with a center AB coated rhinestone. It has a very unusual fold over clasp ending. Kind of like, well, it's kind of rough. It's not very smooth. There's a fold over clasp, and there's no maker on this one that I can find either. Here's the back. This one here is 7 inches. Cute. I like it. I think it's very sweet. What do you think? Any favorites so far? There you have it. A bow link with a center AB rhinestone fold over gold tone vintage bracelet. Next one is this two-tone braided vintage bracelet. It has a fold over clasp, these nice simple polished end caps. It's in really good condition. There is a maker's mark, and this one is let's see, it's NAPIER. You see NAPIER in script? That maker's mark came out in 1965. Let's talk about NAPIER for a little bit. I mean, this company was founded in 1878 in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, but it wasn't called NAPIER yet. It was called the E.A. Bliss Company. And what they did was make men's watch chains. And then in 1882, they got incorporated. And in 1890, they relocated to Connecticut from Massachusetts. But during World War I and again in World War II, they stopped production to focus on producing like war-related items. So they made the medals, the medallions, the pins. So that's pretty awesome. And then in when was it? In 1920, that's over 100 years ago, James Napier was the president of the company, the E.A. Bliss Company. He renamed it to the Napier Bliss Company. And then in 1922, he renamed it again, and this time it was called the Napier Company. I mean, he worked for this company from 1914 to 1960 when he passed away. So he was president for 40 years, from 1920 to 1960. And then in 1999, fast forward, it was bought by a company called Victoria and Company. And they closed that plant that was in Connecticut. And then Victoria and Company is actually Jones Apparel Group. And now they're still making jewelry. So Napier is still around. So back to this bracelet. This here, Napier in the script was introduced in 1965. You will see Napier in the block letters, the capital letters, and that would be from 1922, but also through the 2000s. I mean, Napier was very, very famous for silver in the first half of the 20th century. They have collections in the Brooklyn Museum, the Dallas Museum of Art. They had exhibitions all over at the Smithsonian, at the Wolfsonian. How do you say that word? How do you say that name? The one in Miami. Wolfsonian. And also in Reno, in the Nevada Museum of Art. And in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Dixon Gallery and Gardens. So, Napier, as well as CORO, and, well, GOLDETTE too. These vintage companies have been around forever. Okay, a few more bracelets left. This is, what is this, number 8? Or number 10? I think I bought a dozen out. Well, anyway, this here is another vintage bracelet. This is silver tone, leaf design. It has these champagne tone rhinestones. Maybe they were clear, and then they just kind of got to this color due to age. You think so? I gotta say, it's not in bad shape. Very detailed on the leaves, right? This is the back. The back looks pretty good. This is also a CORO. It's upside down. There it is. So this is another CORO bracelet. This one is 7¼ inches long. It's like a silver tone brushed satiny finish with the detailed leaves. And oh, another fact about CORO. If you come across their necklaces, they didn't use the J hook until 1948. So It's just another tidbit. So, okay, this is a CORO satin silver tone bracelet, 7¼ inches long. Moving on. Look at this beauty. This is vintage. This is gold tone. It is brushed satiny finish. It has an open leaf design. There are faux pearls, and they're like clusters of 3 pearls on each link. And there's a fold over clasp. And this one here is 7½ inches long. Okay, there's that little pearl has a little peeling. Let's take a look at it. But the other ones, okay, there's one little mark over here and one at the end. So, and maybe 2 at the end. But look at, see the open work? All the rhinestones are there. I wonder if that maker's mark got rubbed off, because this really looks like the other one. But I gotta say, it isn't too shabby considering its age. I mean, I think it's in pretty good vintage condition, with the exception of, I would say, 4 pearls having little marks on them. So here you have it. Gold tone, brushed satin finish, open leaf design, faux pearls, fold over clasp, 7½ inches long. Very nice bracelet. Okay, last bracelet in this video is a Betsey Johnson. This one's a toggle bracelet, toggle charm bracelet with all different hearts and 2 heart locket charms. I opened them so you can see them first. This came from a Betsey Johnson lot that I purchased on shopgoodwill.com. And these are very pretty. It has a design around the border, and the other side is polished. Here you have this really cool center heart that has that animal print design. And of course with Betsey Johnson you have that fancy back. Then you have these puffy hearts. That's a silver tone. You have these smaller hearts that emulate the center one, and that has the back design as well. And then you have some faux pearls and also little silver glitter ribbons. And there is her jewelry tag. With her name on one side spelled out and her initials on the other. This is 7½ inches long. Really sweet Betsey Johnson double heart locket charm bracelet. So this wraps up my bracelet video. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you see anything that you would like to purchase, just email me at dragonflybeez@gmail.com. Don't forget to include either a photo, a screenshot, or a description, or a timestamp. I take PayPal only, and there is a flat fee of $5 for shipping anything under £1. Yes, this will be under £1. And yeah, I ship internationally, and I'll figure out the cost for that, which is something you would have to cover. And what else? What else am I missing? Oh, if you have never purchased from me before, please include your PayPal information and your mailing address. And also, give me that thumbs up and press that bell so that way you'll be alerted when I have my next video posted. And subscribe. And lastly, I used to have links to the tools that I use, but unfortunately Amazon did not accept my my channel because they said I don't have enough viewers. Followers. No, that's what, yeah. I don't have enough followers, but that's okay. I mean, if anything, you could always email me if you know, you have any questions, or if anything, I'm more than happy to answer your questions. So, with that said, thank you again for spending this time with me, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.